All right, good morning, everyone. Thanks for joining us at 7. I'm Tracey McCain.
That's what our sources say. And I'm Nicole Nalepa in for Caitlin Nuclo, and you are right here watching Eyewitness News on the Wax. We're so happy to have you here. We'll get to all of our top headlines, but first we want to bring in meteorologist Scott Gagliardi for a check of your first alert forecast. And it's not too bad of a day.
No,
it's like
not
Scott
bad.
Haney ordered it up for his own birthday.
He probably did. I mean, he had plenty of time to do it. So.
And then he got everybody else on board.
Including Mother Nature. I don't know how he has the connections to do that.
June 16th, get my birthday. That's my birthday.
I'm putting it down right now.
Put in the request down.
We'll bring a cake for you, don't worry.
I appreciate that. If it's anything like one we just saw.
Seriously.
Man. As far as what we're expecting today, though, it's chilly out there right now. You need the jacket, and I'll even say the winter jacket. 32 in New London. A beautiful sunrise, though. Looks pretty good out there. Mystic, gorgeous shot there. Not a single cloud in the sky. That's the way things really stay throughout most of the day today. Notice across the northeast, not seeing much. A few showers out towards the Cape and the islands. Not a big deal. Here locally, we're doing just fine. Temperatures, though, they are chilly. Look at the 20s to the north and west. 26 in Salisbury, 27 in Torrington, 28 in Putnam, 30s right along the shoreline. But there's a bit of a breeze out there. Notice even 10 to 15 miles per hour. So those 20s to near 30, they do feel cooler. Now, so far March, check out these numbers. They've been above average plenty of times, close to 70 about a week and a day ago. But we have a better chance, a good chance to reach 70 possibly on Saturday. Best chances of that is to the south and west. We will detail, though, much more about these changes in temperatures as well as some rain. That's ahead in your first alert forecast. Good morning, Kate.
All right, good morning, Scott. Good morning, everyone. 7:02 here on your Thursday. If you're just waking up with us here on the Wax, we do appreciate that. And if you're getting ready to head out the door, hit the road here for that early morning commute, heading to work or bringing the kids to school or the bus stop, we're in fantastic shape. I couldn't give you better news here this morning. A live look outside here in Hartford, 91 north and southbound. Southbound lane is approaching the capital city here in Middletown along Route 9, running along the Connecticut River. It's a beautiful start there. Bright sunshine here in Waterbury, 84 east and westbound by the Mixmaster. A little bit of a glare there in Meriden along 691. Let's take you out to New Haven, 95 north and southbound here by Fulton Terrace. Also looking very good. Pretty quiet. Calm conditions across the state as we were just taking a look. You're going to need the sunglasses as you're heading out. Normal delays that will start to build through the capital city region, but where we're seeing delays, normal delays, is down through Fairfield County, 95 southbound and the Parkway. Hour-and-a-half ride there. Rest of the state is moving along. Daytime construction work, though, picks up between about 8:30 and 9 o'clock, so watch out for those road crews. Let's quick check at your Connecticut Chevy First Alert traffic report, driven by your Connecticut Chevy dealers.
Thanks, Kate. Now it's 7:03. We have a big update from East Hartford this morning. We now know that a fire that we first told you about as breaking news yesterday is believed to have been intentionally started.
2 people were hurt after an apartment fire on Burnside Avenue yesterday morning. And investigators tell us a man who said he was suicidal doused himself and his unit with transmission fluid. He's at the Bridgeport burn unit this morning, and right now we're working to get updates about the other person who was hurt. A wild story out of Simsbury this morning where police say they arrested a man who allegedly set fire to his ex-boyfriend's house. They say Adam Julian threw Molotov cocktails at the home on Cornhunt Road back in November. Police say the suspect also lit himself and his car on fire. He now faces charges of arson and attempted murder. No one inside the home was hurt.
This morning in East Haven, a man is facing charges for hitting a fire truck and then driving away. We know that Joshua Bethke will be in court next week for allegedly hitting a fire truck on Hemingway Ave back in February. Police say that they found a piece of the man's car mirror right at the scene, and they eventually arrested him. Thankfully, no one was hurt.
Right now, there are some twists and turns in the case of a Waterbury woman accused of imprisoning her stepson for more than 2 decades.
And your reporter, Roger Suzannon, has some more details on how the case is changing after yesterday's court appearance.
Well, prosecutors have now filed a motion, and they want to change the condition of Kimberly Sullivan's release. They want the judge to either force her to wear an ankle monitor or potentially place her under house arrest. Now, we expect that on Friday morning, when Kimberly Sullivan is back here at court, we could get an answer to that issue, as well as other issues that could be hashed out in a case that is now getting attention around the globe. Yesterday, Sullivan walked past a small army of reporters from around the country and right into the Waterbury Superior Courthouse. That process lasted almost as long as the hearing itself. Investigators say she imprisoned her stepson in a tiny room at least 22 hours a day for more than 20 years. The victim was so desperate to get free that he set a fire inside the Blake Street home where he lived and told investigators he'd been abused. Police say the 32-year-old man was just 68 pounds when they rescued him, and he hadn't been allowed to even bathe for more than a year. Yesterday, the victim's biological mother, Tracey McCain, appeared in court to support her son. She hasn't seen him since he was 6 months old, but hopes she can eventually help him heal.
When he is healthier and he's stronger, if he wants a relationship with me, I am right here. I'm not going anywhere.
Now, Sullivan's attorney tells us that his client will enter a not guilty plea likely on Friday morning, and he also plans to object to that motion that we mentioned that would impact the conditions of Sullivan's release. In Waterbury this morning, I'm your reporter Roger Suzanne in Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
All right, thanks, Roger. Also this morning, we're learning more about Old Saybrook Police Chief Michael Spiro's retirement.
His decision to step down comes after an independent review found that officers felt his leadership created an unpleasant work environment. Chief Spiro will officially retire on April 11th, but right now he's set to receive his pension and will be paid out for unused PTO. That's worth about $170,000. Old Saybrook also agreed to add 6 years to the Chief Spiro's pension, allowing him to draw nearly $25,000 more dollars each year. The first selectman says this is a cheaper alternative to negotiations and says the town can manage those costs.
And it's not something you may realize every time you put something in the trash can, but Connecticut has a huge waste problem, evidently.
Yeah, so a major trash chute energy plant closed in 2022, and Connecticut has been shipping hundreds of thousands of tons of waste out of state since then. Your reporter, Marcy Jones, has more from New Haven, where lawmakers are announcing a push to end this statewide problem.
Where should all of our trash go? That has been a pressing question for years now, and lawmakers as well as DEEP officials have agreed that now is the time to take action and make sure that we are investing in the already existing waste management efforts right here in our very own state. Now today, a little bit later, DEEP will join New Haven city officials to announce $15 million in granted funds to fight the mounting trash problem our state faces. The money will specifically go toward materials and infrastructure to support local and regional waste management efforts. 9 municipalities and regional organizations will benefit from the funds and hope to help address the state's solid waste disposal crisis. This comes at a time where traditional options for disposing of waste are becoming less common and more expensive. Many believe the answer is to invest right back in our very own state's waste management infrastructure. Now, this will all take place in just a few hours at 1 this afternoon. Mayor Justin Elicker will join the DEEP officials to make this announcement. Your reporter in New Haven, Marcy Jones, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.
Well, the UConn women's basketball team is on the road to Washington State.
And they are hoping to bring home another NCAA championship after advancing to the Sweet 16 earlier this week. Our crews captured this footage that you see here yesterday as fans sent the team off in style outside of Gamble. The ladies will take the court Saturday in Spokane and then play the Oklahoma Sooners. And if they win, they'll face either USC or Kansas State in the Elite Eight. And with the UConn women on the road preparing for the Sweet 16, so is the Channel 3 News team. Your sports director, Joe Zone, is at Washington State right now, and he's going to bring us live coverage all week long ahead of Saturday's matchup.
The UConn men's hockey team is also headed to play in the NCAA tournament. A huge send-off for them, too, as fans gather to support the Huskies. It's the first time the Huskies have ever made it to the tournament. They do face in-state rival Quinnipiac Friday in Allentown, Pennsylvania. Quinnipiac might have the upper hand here. They won it in 2023. We'll see how it plays out. Your sports reporter, Mark Robbins, is on the road, and he'll have live coverage tomorrow.
As we get another check of your first alert forecast, it is a beautiful looking start out there, but it is on the chillier side. The 30s that we're seeing feel a bit colder than that. Let's take a live look outside in Old Saybrook. You can see that sun has come up about, say, 25 minutes ago, but it's going to be a very nice day no matter where you are across the state today. Here's a look at those temperatures. Upper 20s in the hill towns, mid 30s along the shoreline, but with a breeze. It's feeling like even the teens still. There's Salisbury and up through Torrington. Getting a check of what you can expect throughout the day today. 44 in Goshen, 47 in Litchfield, 50 to 51 in the greater Hartford area, 48 in Storrs, 49 in Pomfret, as well as Plainfield, right along the shoreline, closer to that 50-degree mark, 50 in Old Saybrook to Haddam, up through Portland and Durham, 51 in Madison and Wallingford, and 52 degrees in Brantford. We'll have the latest, though, on some wild temperature changes this weekend as well as a chance for some showers. That's ahead, though, in your full First Alert forecast. Nicole?
All right. Thanks, Scott.